Optimism is a superpower for a happy life.
Perseverance has been a key part of our success and happiness.
An optimistic outlook provides us with positive thoughts. It provides us with the ability to be able to go, yeah, I can do this.
For me, life is about being an optimist.
To remember that change is never easy.
For a lot of you, at your age, you've missed out on a lot. There's a whole lot of things that won't come back and that you won't be able to do again. But I hope that you can kind of think about, well, what have you learned from what's happened, and to remain optimistic, to remain hopeful about things.
One thing I want to say is that follow your dreams. So you're only limited, if you can dream it, you can do it, and you're only limited by your imagination.
The way that we experience life really comes down to the way that we think about it. And if we choose to think about the experiences that we're having in a negative way, then we'll feel negatively about them.
Find what makes you hopeful, and don't necessarily rely on yourself to give yourself that hope.
Change almost always seems impossible, particularly when you're in the thick of it and you are looking around you at all of the barriers in particular that you face.
To achieve our goals and ambitions in life, we really need to be quite optimistic.
So attitude for me is what you get to decide on every single day. When you open your eyes in the morning, you get to decide what your attitude is going to be. So there's a lot of power in that decision, but the good thing is it is all yours.
Your family's just bought a red car, you'll start to see red cars everywhere. We see what we look for, and if we look for things to be optimistic about, then we'll have more things.
Positivity is something that is inherent in all of us, and at times we will choose to step up and be positive about something, and other times maybe we're not feeling so positive about something.
I do believe that making sure that you can be happy and be positive about the work that you're trying to do is really important to being able to achieve goals. One way that I do that is surrounding myself with super positive people.
So a tip for you around how you might do this: baby steps. We form habits by doing things on a repetitive basis, and most importantly, that helps us with developing a sense of self-belief.
When you look back at history around things like the civil rights movement, all of those things seemed entirely impossible at the time. Nothing ever changes unless we dedicate ourselves to that change.
It's all about perception, so make sure that you're always looking for the bright side, the light side, the things to feel good about.
Don't give up, acknowledge your setbacks, learn from them, and carry on.
While bad things might happen, what's the optimistic way to look at this experience? What can I learn from it? Why might this be good for me?
And when you are in those moments, I think it's really important to connect the dots and connect up with folks who are also engaged in your kaupapa. And remember that you are not doing this alone.
And perhaps when you've been away from school or away from friends, it's made you appreciate them more. It's made you understand what you get from them. Because we all have a habit of, if we do the same thing again and again, we get used to it, we start taking a little bit for granted.
So for me, persevering and having the optimism to go, yes, that's the sort of job that I want to do, and persevering and getting through all the hurdles and stumbling blocks that there was put in front of me in order to become a firefighter.
So when we won MasterChef, we actually won a cookbook deal, but we decided that it wasn't quite right for us, so we decided we wanted to self-publish.
We didn't know how to make a cookbook, and we were told by many different people that it was going to be too hard, we wouldn't be able to do it, but we're so glad that we followed our instincts and we believed in ourselves, because our first two cookbooks went to the Gourmand World Cookbook Awards, and our first book won Best TV Cookbook in the World, and our second cookbook won a Lifetime Achievement Award and won an award for photography.
And I never gave up hope. I never ever once said, you know what, I don't think I can do this. I always thought, yes, I can actually do this, and there I was.
Do what you know is right, and you always know that feeling in your puku, you know what's right, and use your powers, your voice, your privilege, your position, and all of the opportunities that show themselves for good. Kia ora koutou.